Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echoed through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echoed through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue, through the silence and the roar. Still blue, even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chants, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Thank you once again for finding the time to join me for another edition of the Chelsea News Roundup show. I do hope you're all doing well. And to be clear, this is going to be a hybrid show, Chelsea News Roundup / Chelsea match preview. Yes, we'll be previewing Chelsea's home game, season opener against Crystal Palace at the Bridge, which the process includes a lineup prediction exercise and also prediction. But we do have quite a lot to talk about before we get into the match preview proper. We'll talk about Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea, Xavi Simons to Chelsea, Josh Acheampong, and Chelsea's whether Chelsea will go for another centre back or not. There's been conflicting reports. Well, now you could argue leading to me not being too sure what the club will end up doing. But that's by the way. I do hope you're all doing well. And as usual, because we keep it interactive here, it's important that I look at who's in the chat, live chat section already and see what they have to say. We have Cole Palmer, that's Nehemiah Fowler, going by that name. I can remember that. Get this, whatever he said there. Damn manager a centre back. Yep, someone should be fired. It's not like if we don't get one, it simply means that they've had a conversation and decided not to go for one. So you should be speak cautiously about the situation. You don't work for the club. I don't think if the manager really wants a centre back that they say no to it. The S's think they know everything. It is you that thinks you know everything. I'm sorry. But I just have to tell you that. And you don't know Jack SHIT because you don't work for the club. And I'm going to say once again, Nehemiah, if we end up not getting a CB, it'd be because the manager, they agreed, they've had a conversation with the manager and agreed not to go for one. And I don't know how else to explain this to you, but you have every right to see it the way you want to see it. And more likes, people, more likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We're streaming in a landscape format today, which means, chances are the views will be scanty, but we can manage because we have to do lineup prediction exercise. It's important that we stream in landscape format so that when we share the screen of the lineup prediction exercise, people will be able to see that. And Kojo and your mother, thank you so much for reposting the stream. You always do that, and I'm keeping an eye on that. And remind me, tomorrow we're going to do a giveaway of Chelsea's home kit. Yep, because we won the Club World Cup, and I did promise we're going to do that. So don't let me forget it. If you don't do it, it'd be because I forgot. But if you can remind me once the show starts tomorrow, then I will never forget. And we have Sean Abiona. He says, I can see us losing tomorrow. I cannot lie. They're not backing up Maresca. How are they not backing Maresca? Let me try and explain this to you this way. we were told that we're definitely signing a centre back and a winger, according to Fabrizio Romano a few months ago. How do you think that would end up not signing one after Levi Kowa got injured? And when the manager spoke about the situation, that's after he said, yeah, signing a centre back is definitely a priority for him. Then after that, during one of his presses, I think he did say something to the effect of, yeah, we want to sign a centre back, but we're looking at for a solution internally. I don't see a world where he wants a centre back and really wants one, and then the club said, no, you're not getting it. It doesn't happen that way. He's earned the right to ask for what he wants for, which was why when I read the first comment on the screen there, I did say that if we end up not signing a centre back, it be because he's had a conversation with the SDs and the hierarchy, and they've agreed not to sign one. But I still think would end up signing one. Or the situation could be that, yeah, he said what he said, and he said the club, they know what he wants. And I don't see a situation where he'd want a centre back and they say no to him. So maybe, and the truth remains, when you speak publicly like that about your need as a club, your need for for a player in certain positions, you are you're creating a situation where the potential selling club, they'd ask you for a lot more money knowing that you're desperate. So maybe the briefs we've been getting for the club are designed to dial down the, you can say, the belief that we're in desperate need of a centre back, just to avoid a situation where if we go for any CB, the selling club will ask us to pay £1 billion plus. If you get my gist, so I don't. We're backing him actually. We've done a lot that in a lot of stuff that indicate, yeah, we want him to succeed. So don't just you say I don't know. I don't want to. I hope this doesn't come across as insulting to you. Don't just say what you want to say because you've heard people say that. It just doesn't make sense that if he wants a center back and he really wants a center back, and the club will say no, I don't think they'd want to upset him. They'd want him to be happy. They like him, which is why they give him a long-term contract. So I think people jump into the conclusion that they're not backing him. I think they're not being truthful, and that is my opinion. So, and that's, by the way, as I've told you already, this is going to be a hybrid show, match prediction exercise, prediction slash preview exercise, and also Chelsea news. So, but we'll start by covering the news, and then after that we get into the match preview exercise proper. All right, the first item here, I think I need to change. I need to change the display here. I don't really like it that way. Go like this. I think maybe this one works. All right, so this one here, official. That's according to the transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano. He reads, confirmed Omari Hutchinson joins Nottingham Forest on a deal in excess of £37 million from Ipswich Town, which means Chelsea will earn £9.4 million from that's Arsenal, from Arsenal clause inserted in the contract he signed when he joined Ipswich Town. So good business for us. That's how you could argue just a little bit shy of £10 million, and that's not easy. Even if it was £9 million alone, that's good business, and I like that. You can say we don't need to do a lot now to balance the books, given how much we've earned from player sales and such business as his own. So good luck to him, a good player. I wanted him to stay at Chelsea, but yeah, you don't get your wish in terms of all the players you want to stay at the club to end up staying at the club. So, a lot, you say majority, I'm not sure, will end up leaving and succeeding in other clubs rather than Chelsea Football Club. They will all not succeed at the club. It's really that simple. But I really do like Omari Hutchinson. Good luck to him. He will. I think he would do well in the Premier League. All right, I have my bro here, Wycliffe Barrosh. Nice to see you. He said Crystal Palace is a tough match. They beat City and Liverpool. Yeah, they won the cup by beating City, and then won the Charity Shield by beating Liverpool, and we drew with them home and away last season. They are a very tough side. They have a very intelligent manager, tactically disciplined side, and even the absence of a Berichy Eze, a potential absence of a Berichy Eze and Mark Guehi, for me, make no difference in my opinion. He's a very very intelligent manager, very very confident in his ability, and yeah. But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 7 likes, you can do a lot better than that. And I have the captain of the community in the housing, Constantine Dunn. Big up to you, bro. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to be with me this evening. It's a mashup of the Chelsea prediction show, the Chelsea Crystal Palace match preview show, and also Chelsea news. And we're starting with Chelsea news. I do hope you're doing well, Dante. Thank you for joining me on the panel.
Yeah, big up, Coach. Big
Big
up
up.
everyone in the chat. Yeah, it's a double show. That's new. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, evening for you, it's morning for us here. So
Yeah, evening for me, 5:23 p.m. For you, it's around 7 a.m., is it?
8:30 a.m.
Mm.
Yeah, so just woke
Yeah.
up, so perfect
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. So Omari Hutchinson from Ipswich Town to Nottingham Forest, back in the Premier League for him, and we're making nearly £10 million from that. Good business, really.
Yeah, very good business. Obviously, we added that clause in there, like we do with a lot of those deals. We still add that 20%. Usually, we like to add that in there. So we knew this might happen, especially for deals like this. We knew it's going to happen. Most likely that he might go down, and then Omari Hutchinson's the type of guy that will not stay in the Championship. He'll want to go back to the Premier League. So yeah, it worked out perfect.
He deserves to be in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's good enough. He's definitely good enough. Yes. But I just think, yeah, he's the type of guy that wouldn't stay in the Championship. He'll want to go back to Premier League, or he would have gone somewhere in another league. I don't see him staying in a second division. He's not that type of guy to do that. So, but yeah, perfect for us. Can't get better. Another 10 million nearly. That's quite a lot for not doing nothing.
And that's it for again. We're not if Chris was Nottingham Forest, if they end up selling him, we're not going to earn anything from subsequent sales, right?
Depends how it was. I'm not quite sure. I have to double check. It could be always in there, or it could be just the one-off. It just depends how the contract. I'm not sure. I haven't seen those details to see if it's a one-off or it's included for a certain amount of time, a certain amount of years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not quite sure on those details unless you know something else. But I don't know those ones.
No, nothing.
No.
All right. Next item here, and people 7 likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go along with this here. Chelsea rejected a £45 million offer from West Ham for Andrey Santos. The Blues contacted West Ham's board to inform them that the Brazilian player will not leave the team and advised them to abandon the pursuit of the young Brazilian. I've always known we're never going to sell him. I don't think the plan is to sell him. He's an excellent player, and I think the manager likes him too. I think that's you can argue they're just testing the waters. He stays, irrespective of, you can say, the manufactured outrage when he didn't play a couple of games after the start of the Club World Cup, and Reece James and other non-midfielders did play in the position that he could have played. People lost their shit, but I'm just happy. I think this situation makes it clear to the fan base at the club that Chelsea aren't looking to sell Andrey Santos. Your thoughts on that?
Exactly, Coach. He's not for sale. Some people still seem to think that he is, and he will be sold. We're just waiting for that bigger offer, so to make a better profit. No, he's not for sale. He's an integral part of that team, that squad now. So he's there to, learn as much as he can. He looks like Enzo will use him in that Enzo Fernandez role. So Yeah, look,
Yeah, it looks like he'll be rotating both.
yeah, so he'll be rotating there. He'll come on and substitute quite a lot as well. So he's actually going to get a lot of minutes. So, um, he's going to teach him that role, try to get him to be that box to box guy. And yeah, he'll only get better. The longer it goes, he'll get better and better. And he will can challenge for that position as well. You never know. So we'll see what happens there. But for now, squad rotation player. Very young still, a lot of potential. We know he's got leadership qualities. He's a very good young player, but still has a lot to improve, a lot to do to get that role and push for that starting role ahead of Enzo Fernandez. So yeah, good position to be in for us. It's a perfect setup for him as well. Not too much pressure. He can take it easy, learn, and then when he's ready to compete for that spot, he can, no problem. So yeah, it's a great situation for us to be in.
And the kid is very humble too. That's one of the things I like a lot about him.
Yeah, he won't
Um,
complain. He's not the type to complain
mhm,
and to,
mhm.
like fans did for him. He's not that type.
Yeah, they
He's
did that for him indeed. Yep.
Yeah, he won't do that. He's not that type. He's a professional, and like I said, he's quite a leader at a young age. Obviously, captain the under 21 Brazil team, captain Strasbourg a little for a while, for quite a bit actually when the usual was out as well. So yeah, look, he's got a good head on his shoulders as well. So it's a great matchup for us. It's a like I said, it's a very good situation to be in for Maresca as well. It's perfect.
Yeah, Bobby, big up to you, and thank you so much for finding the time to join us on the panel. We've always known, you can say we here, we've always known that Chelsea were never going to sell him. A lot of Chelsea fans, you could argue, they knew exactly what they were doing. They've always known that the club uh, wasn't that Chelsea weren't going to sell Andrea Santos, but yet they had to do that because that's what defines their brand. You could argue this situation now makes it clear that Chelsea aren't looking to sell Andrea Santos, and that's good news for. Uh, I'm not why good news actually, but we've always known that they were never going to sell him. But Bobby, let's hear you.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, exactly. Chelsea brought him into the squad for a reason. I don't even think it's a conversation. People look for attention to bring things that they think will cause headlines, but it's ridiculous. I mean, if you see the players that came off the bench for Bayern in their Super Cup, Bundesliga Super Cup, you saw the players that come off the bench for Liverpool, come off the bench for Man City earlier, even for Tottenham. Why is Chelsea the mug? It's not going to happen. They're not going to sell him. The squad depth issue is massively important this season. He will get games. He will be rotated, and it will not hurt his World Cup chances one bit. He's still very young. People forget the age of this player we're talking about. What is he? 19, maximum 20. He's a child, and we are just. I don't know. There's an IQ issue here. If people think that Chelsea have to have these players playing in a squad of just 11 to 13, those days are gone. You need your full 28 man. You need them all functional. Look what's happened in the defense now. If you don't have squad depth, you can't cope with these things. We have bad enough an issue there with players that I think we really need to now start thinking of offloading. I'm talking of people like Badia Shield and even Wesley Fofana. I love him. I think he's an excellent player, but I think he's one big injury away from getting kicked out of Chelsea. He can't do this anymore. This is his fourth season, and he has to give us a season. So the squad depth is important, and Andrey Santos is very, very much a part of that.
Yeah, I do remember. I think I remember when I asked the question, how much time is enough time to give to Wesley Fofana? I think this is it. If this season, if he fails to recover and stay fit, I think uh, I think we'll look to move him on.
It has to be, coach. As I say, I really am a huge fan of Wesley Fofana, but this is his fourth year. For 3 years, we do this. If we're lucky, he starts the season with us. If we're lucky, he gets to September and then he's gone. It happened his first season, second season, third season. Now this is the last chance saloon. He has to stay fit all season or not miss more than a handful of games. If he fails to do that, what's the point? There's no point in having him in the team. He may as well go somewhere else, and we find someone else to of quality to fill that place. It will sadden me a lot because I really, really rate him when fit, but the patience of waiting for him, we had to be patient with Reece James, and boys, I still maintain Reece James is the best player at Chelsea. But is it every single player? We've got him, we've got Badiashile, we've got Reece James, so many injury prone players. People scream and shout about Nkunku, but his injury record is not exactly great. It's just that he hasn't had the back-to-back games to show his weakness. So yes, you're right. This is a big season for Wesley. He needs to show his fitness. He does, less talk. I don't want to hear any talk from Wesley Fofana.
Yeah, he talks a lot.
Yeah, about people should watch their ankles and all that. Shut your mouth, stay fit, and give us your service. He has given us no service for all the wages he's on. It sounds brutal, but football is a short career, and this level is only for the best athletes. And if you're not one of those, then unfortunately you have to bow out.
Yeah. Dante, your thoughts? You think this is it for him? You think this is the last season that if he doesn't recover and stay fit, uh, would look we look to sell him, move him on? Maybe. I think that's it. Honestly, sentiments aside, I think probably would take the L. The more economic, you can find an economical way to take some L and say, yeah, bye, Felicia. And he's
Yeah,
one of the top earners.
yeah, and that's a problem. And we know that the ownership, they reward players that do their job, do well, be available. They are patient at first, but after that, they're not patient. Yes, move on very quickly from a player, especially a player on a high salary like that. That's sort of half, in between. He's part of the new ownership, but part of the old as well. So, yeah, look, definitely his last go. Even he kind of, admitted to that on social media. He does post a lot, like you say. He does like to talk more cryptic messages about that, but he's kind of admitted that as well. I think he knows that as well. I think everybody knows that, like I said, including himself. So it is his last chance to stay fit and play consistently and actually offer some value to the team, because otherwise, yeah, I think that's definitely he'll be on the way out by the end of the season if that doesn't happen. And of course, we need him fit anyway. If he's injured again, it's not going to be, we can't really sell him. You can't sell him an injured player. So, that's, if he stays fit and does really well, then it depends how well he does and how well he fits into the team, because that could be, good. But definitely, yeah, it's, I think, very important for him to, stay fit this season and show and prove the doubters wrong that, yeah, he can do it. So yeah, look,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. We know Maresca kind
we'll
of
see.
does
Yeah.
like him, but we don't know for sure 100% how much, because we've never actually seen properly like a big run or something to see if he does get dropped or what can happen, because he's never played more like than 3-4 games in a row. So we don't know exactly how much he likes him. Like I said, it's a difficult one because we just haven't seen him enough. So yeah, like I said, if he stays fit, we might still sell him anyway, because maybe we're not happy. Yeah, and it gives us an opportunity to sell him because he's actually fit and you can sell him and he's shown a little bit of form. So it's an interesting one, but we'll wait and see. What can we do? For now, he's a Chelsea player, so we'll back him as soon as once he plays and gets going. We have to back him, of course, but definitely his last chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. And Wycliffe Barashare talks about an important something important. Colwell is a big loss or to add salt to injury. Tosin is injured. Two, I don't see us not signing a CB. Okay, we get to that in a bit. It depends on how serious Tosin's injury is. But we're not going to get into that right now. Where we have it is one of the topics we have lined up. So when we get to it, we will discuss it. Um, yeah, this one here, Vince quoting Fabrizio Romano, he reads, Alejandro Garnacho deal behind the scenes is way more advanced than what you can expect. So they are working on that. I still fully expect that Garnacho deal to happen. I think at this point we already know that it's going to happen, and he's told us 1,000 times that he expects the deal to happen. I don't know whether if anybody has anything to add to this. It's just the same thing we've discussed 1,000 times. This is not even from you can say a different perspective. We've seen something worded nearly exactly the same, but that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have just 12 people following the show on YouTube, and we have 8 likes. We can do a lot better than that. Now you see why we prefer streaming in a vertical format, because, yeah, majority of our subscribers found us through YouTube Shorts, so it's only fair that we cater for them. But we're
But
still doing landscape format. Go ahead.
yeah, the whole Garnacho noise, because it's noise at the moment. I'm still rather bemused by this. I'm struggling. I'm wondering what he brings to the table. I remember when we went for Jadon Sancho, and one thing I always knew about Jadon Sancho was he was the master of close control, and people complained that he didn't shoot enough. But I always knew that when he did shoot, it was always deadly, and he proved that when he came. I thought Jadon Sancho gave us very good service for his loan periods. He's one of those loans that we have had at the club that it's a shame it didn't work out, because I thought he was a good servant. He hardly had a bad game. This guy, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Well, what does he do? You know, I've
That's
never
an excellent
noticed
question.
him.
Yeah, that's an
I,
excellent
I,
question for Dante. And I think, go ahead, Bobby. When you're
yeah,
done, I'll let
the
Dante help you. Yeah.
the fact that I've never noticed him, and we've played against Man United a number of times. I think he scored against us once, and it's he didn't look like one of those players that I felt threatened by when he was on the field. So I'm still wondering about this geezer. I'm wondering, why are they so intent on bringing this guy in? What is he going to offer? I've heard the stories about Javi Simmons, so I can understand that. Although that's becoming a bit of an old wives' tale at the moment. But Garnacho still leaves me perplexed.
Mm. Dante, there you go. Can you help Bobby understand what Garnacho brings to the table?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Look,
it's an important question because a lot of people don't know. They just think we're just trying to sign him for the sake of signing him.
yeah. Look, he's a touchline winger, so we've only got basically two of those in the squad at the moment. That's Pedro Neto and Gittins. So we do need a third one. Just gives Maresca more options if something, one of those gets injured or something, or you've got a capable replacement there. He's very young, Garnacho, but he's got the experience. He's got 3 years experience in the Premier League. Another important thing people that don't know is, he does count as a homegrown player because of that as well. So that's a big bonus, especially with the new rules.
Aha! I never thought about that aspect actually, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's a new rule coming in next season, not this season, this following season as well, where it's an extra couple of an extra 2 players you're going to need as a homegrown on top of the current. So that's something to look in the future as well. So he covers that as he's not English, but because he's played under 21 3 years in the Premier League, you count as a homegrown player. So that's very important as well. But like I said, touchline winger, 1-on-1, takes his players on, very direct. he did play when he did play against us. He did cook us pretty well a couple of times. Actually, he probably the best player to be honest. I've obviously said you didn't really quite notice him, but yeah, he was probably one of the best players on the day. I think twice he scored against us. So yeah, he was very very good creating and scoring and assisting as well. Actually, so he was very good against us. Especially in the Ten Hag era, he was very good because he Ten Hag played with the two wide wingers, the touchline wingers, where Amarim doesn't. He plays with the two attacking midfielders in behind. So that's why he hasn't been quite as good and as prominent lately because, well, he doesn't stand out as much in that formation. It's not really for him, and probably part of the reason he's leaving as well. It doesn't suit him, and his style it doesn't quite work. And obviously, Amarim shook up the changing room quite a lot with a lot of other players as well. So yeah, look, very important for that reason. Still young though, and still a lot to improve. But the upside is massive. So he's got a massive upside. He was one of those top 10 players in the world. Under 21. He's always been in that top 10 list. He's always one of those really high ranking players that can take the next level. So when you have a player like that at that age, that profile, and Maresca would be all over it because, like you said, Bobby, we need that depth. If we want to compete, even for the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, all these other cups, you need that depth. And when you have that quality of depth that can come in off the bench or play those games and start those games, you're going to get very far in those tournaments because you got that quality to do that then. So, yeah, I think he's a great signing. It looks like it's going to get done.
And
I
let,
think
let me
it's a
say
great
quickly,
signing.
would it be right to say that he has grit?
Well, he's Argentinian. He's got the Latino blood. Yes, yeah, Enzo Fernandez, as any other
He doesn't
Argentinian
want to
player,
lose. He doesn't like losing.
he doesn't like losing. He's got grit. He's physical. He takes challenges. He gives out challenges and he takes challenges, and he plays through them. So even though he's quite looks small, sort of skinny, he's actually a very tough young player. So he likes that part of that aspect of football. So yeah, it works very well, and that works especially well with Maresca and obviously the teammates. He's coming into an environment as well where you got Enzo Fernandez there, someone he really looks up to, and they're actually pretty close friends as well. So he's not going to play up here. Enzo Maresca will not let him play up. You got to back that player. If he signs, you got to back him from the start. And yeah, once he puts that shirt on, he's a Chelsea player. Back him from the start. If he plays up later on, well, everyone has a right to criticize, but not from the start without doing anything. Let's wait, see what he does, how he does. But I think it's a good situation for him. He's going to come in. There's not much pressure on him to be, that guy because he doesn't. He was actually one of those guys at Man United at 19, at 20. He was actually one of those guys that everyone was looking for to do everything. And he was for a year there. He was doing quite a lot for
Until
playing.
they started struggling as a team.
Yeah, they had other problems, but for a good year there, he was one of the main guys as 19 years of age. He made the Argentinian national team because of it. That's not easy to do in that Argentinian team.
And Bobby, for more context, if you're there, you
Yeah.
should go look at his numbers and compare his numbers for the 24-25 season to that of Real Madrid's Rodrigo. Have you seen that comparison, Dante?
Yeah, well, he's got 21 GA, doesn't he?
You
Yes.
would be shocked that he actually finished the season better than him. But I get it. The difference is that Rodrigo is more shiny of the two toys, if I'm allowed to, you can say, reference it like that. And you can say won a lot more than him.
Yeah, and he hasn't been a starter that much.
Yeah,
Garnacho
exactly.
under
But go
Amarim.
ahead. Bobby looks like he wanted to say something. Go ahead, Bobby.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Bob.
I mean, I listen a lot, especially to players that I don't think I'm versed enough in to have an in-depth opinion. If there's one thing I look for is for when someone tells me, okay, this person's going to bring this, and I'm like, all right, I can work with that and see what happens. Of all the things I've heard, the only thing that stuck with me is I like the Argentinian grit. It's rare.
I knew you would. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like a tough guy on the field. It's rare you find these people come anywhere in the world and they don't know how to deal with the physical side. I look at people like Rodrigo De Paul in in Atletico, not to mention Simone himself, not to I
Exactly.
mean, they are tough guys, and that is important in the Premier League. Argentines are one of the few South Americans that come here, and they don't flinch. Yeah, and I'm talking for decades. I'm somebody that watched uh,
Exactly.
uh, uh, um, David Villa and what's the name of that captain they had? They both played for Spurs. They were flair players, but they were tough players. So I'm for that. I'm all for that. But in the position he plays, I'm hearing he can beat his man. Okay, fine. I didn't notice it. I haven't noticed him for anything, which is quite rare for me. If a player's good, I will see it when I watch him, especially when they play against us. Like Joao Pedro, I always knew Joao Pedro was a problem. When he was in Watford and he played against us, he was a problem. Not to mention when he was at Brighton, in Brighton. He was just one of those players that oh my God, he's on the field. We've got to stop him. So what we're after this guy. I take it as read. There's a reason we're after him, but I just asked the question because it hasn't settled in me what he's going to bring. Because this is a tough season. You've seen the first games, the opening games. I think they're an insight as to how tough this season's going to be. And it's only those with the squad depth, it's only those with the quality that will come out on top. And it's an opportunity for us because these youngsters are now well versed. They've had 2 seasons in the Premier League, 2 seasons together, one full season together under Maresca, a few cups now to give them confidence. We have to push on forward from here. It looks like we're trying to in all areas, apart from
Okay,
maybe the
yeah,
defense.
okay, everything we're doing indicate that yeah, we're trying to do that.
Yeah, it certainly does. As I said, apart from maybe in the defense, which I'm still unhappy with the injury situation and the fact that either we dig into what we have to get what we want or we go out shopping quick. But we have a chance this season. And if we do the right things and keep the right depth, we could be right up there. And the thing about Chelsea is that you never know. If you have Chelsea sniffing in and around you at the top of the Premier League towards the end of the season, don't be surprised if they just go and win it. That's what Chelsea does. If Chelsea is like second within 2 points of the leaders and we're in going towards May uh, in a season, I would tell those leaders to be extremely nervous because we are that kind of team and we've always shown it. So we have to make sure that we are
Excuse
that
me.
kind of team that can go the distance.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bobby. And Jamie Case TV here says, "What's up, Coach? I reckon 2-1, hoping that we can continue our good preseason form. I hope so. Irrespective of how depleted you think they have an excellent tactician in Glazner. What's his first name? Is it Oliver Glazner? He's an excellent tactician. He's proven it by beating Man City to win the cup and beating Liverpool to win the Community Shield. Wycliffe Irish says signing many players makes sense because Maresca is our manager. Besides depth, Maresca plays many different systems. So maybe Garnacho will be a great signing. I'm sure you were listening when Dante when he spoke in detail what he brings to the table. AB says Bobby Garnacho brings a lot of grit but low output. I wouldn't say low output. And I'm going to say this again for more context. Go compare his numbers to that of Real Madrid's Rodrigo. 24-25 season. And I think you will learn a lot. And Jimmy Cliff TV said, Jimmy Case TV here says, I actually don't mind the Garnacho signing. There's a player in there who's coming up to 100 appearance in the Premier League for his age, just being in a toxic environment. This is a delicious comment. This just make this perfect, and I think we've actually talked about this. Jimmy, I'm not saying you're tapping in, but I think we've talked about this 1,000 times. Dante, haven't we? How
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
case is not in isolation, how people should also look at Anthony's case, Marcus Rashford. There's also a few other names that I usually don't remember, but yeah, it is. And if he was a bad boy, why would Ten Hag want him at Leverkusen? I'm sure you've heard that too, Dante.
Yeah, they really want him at Leverkusen. He's just trying to sign him, but he said he wants to remain in the
He
Premier
wants to
League and
remain
join Chelsea. So.
in the Premier League. So I'm not sure why people are concerned about his so-called.
Yep. I
Yeah,
think coach is
apologies. So
Oh, there he
I
is.
just don't understand why people are concerned about the so-called behavior without looking beyond him alone and paying attention to the fact that there are other players that has, you can say, that have had fallen out with the Manchester United hierarchy. They've been chaotic for about 3-4 years right now, and it's their thing to scapegoat one player or the other. At one point, it was Harry Maguire. Even though I don't think he's that good, you get the point now. But that's by the way. Yeah, Jimmy, I do like that comment. And how do I celebrate this? Because wait, we're swimming in a landscape format, so we can actually use bells and whistles to spice
Oh
up
no,
the
not the
show.
balloons again.
Maybe the fireworks. Maybe, but I have to get used to the landscape mode of it again. All right. Well, thank you, Jimmy, for that. Also, a lot of people are scared of his skinny little 15-year-old brother. I understand, and that's actually the most concerning aspect of the whole thing. When you ask people what has Garnacho done wrong, nobody says anything. They just mention his 16-year-old brother who doesn't play for the club. Yeah. And people, please go check out Jamie Case TV and subscribe. Let's help him grow. Excellent content creator and a friend of the community. One of us, yeah, because he's a Chelsea fan. Big up to you too, Kishan. Even though I don't like you, but I'm gonna say big up to you too. I do hope you're doing well. Eric Lamela, Kojo Ayimadu, Lamela. Did he join? When last did I hear that name again? I only remembered him
Tottenham
at
player, coach. Tottenham.
Tottenham. Yeah, so I was gonna lose it. When did he play for United? All right. But Coach, thank you for that, and Nick Farley, thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate you. Who else do we have here?
Veron was a great example. He was played for Man United and Chelsea. He was a great example of technical player, leader as well, but very feisty and fiery as well when he did play.
Yeah, I liked Veron a lot. Excellent midfielder. All right. What else do we have here? He says, what do I say if he predicts one City, Liverpool, okay, Chelsea 4. I'm not sure I understand that. Maybe you need to rephrase it the way I understand it. And Chimera says, shout out Kuchila for the consistency. Oh, thank you. Dante would say no, that's not true. Nick Fadley, Chelsea 2,
No, it's
Palace
true, coach.
1.
You consistently, of course, you're consistent, very consistent. The discipline's always
Okay.
been the same. It hasn't changed.
Okay. I feel, again, I'm happy, honestly. Let's see, what else do we have here? What's the expectation from Maresca this season? You go first, coach. Until the transfer window shuts, don't ask me that question. I need to see, yeah, how we finish in the transfer window first. Jimmy, no worries, bro. I appreciate you. You can always trigger the command. I think it's JCTV. That's what triggers the command. Exclamation mark JCTV. And we also have a big up to you too, Shea Wendy Williams. I appreciate you. And as both home and away last season, we drew with them, both home and away last season. Crystal Palace manager says he knows how Chelsea plays. Okay, I hope that probably will be the reason we end up beating them, because I don't think we play in a particular way. We changed a lot, and I think Maresca probably, yeah, will have sleepless nights trying to figure out a way to ensure we beat them. Let's see. The speaker was trying to recall the Argentine who played for Tottenham. Okay, thank you so much for that. Sincerely, I appreciate you. What else do we have here? Alejandro Garnacho, we've discussed him at length today. It's a topic that, yeah, it be there until we get that particular deal across the line. Let me see. What else do we have here?
And just with the
Next
Garnacho
one,
Coach,
Dante, I will start with you on this one.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just with the Garnacho one as well, he also, because he turned 21, he's still counted as under the 21, so he doesn't have to have those registration problems as well. So that's why that can probably go ahead well, because he can doesn't need to be on that A list, can be on that B list as well. Being I can't remember the month. It's under 21s, but it's a certain month they can still be 21, etc. So I'm pretty sure he's one of those that qualifies for that as well. So he wouldn't be a registration problem either.
All right, thank you so much for mentioning that. So this one here, Tosin Adarabioyo is set to miss Chelsea's clash with Crystal Palace tomorrow at the Bridge. To be more specific, purely precautionary after feeling a small issue in training. Dante, what do you make of that? I think not a big problem at the moment because we could see Chalobah and who. But let's hear you, Dante. What do we do in the absence of Tosin and Levi Kowa?
Yeah, look, a little bit of a problem because he would definitely play this game. Just because it's not because we don't have another defender either like Colwell, but because their striker, the way he plays, and the physical, tall striker that loves balls in the air as well. So he would be the guy marking Mateta quite a lot. So he would be. They like to get a lot of balls into the box to Mateta from set pieces, corners, even in open play. So. Yeah, he would be very important for that role. He's not going to be there. He's picked up something. We don't know what it is yet, but if it's something small, it's probably just a strain or something, nothing too serious. So, so it is a problem in that sense. He would play regardless if Colwell was there or not. He would still play this game because of that. So, look, it will have to be probably Chalobah will have to play. Obviously, probably that right centre back role will probably be Chalobah. We'll see who goes.
Is Badia still fully fit?
No, Badiashile won't be available. No, Badiashile.
I think we might see a surprise name there because we still have Anselmino.
Yeah,
and he's registered for the Premier League
ahead of Anselmino. We've seen that all preseason.
Who ahead of Anselmino?
Even Acheampong is ahead of Anselmino at the moment. From what we've seen, he brought him on twice in that CC back role in the preseason, so ahead of Anselmino. So you'd think he would still be ahead of him if that was the case. So he's probably not quite ready, maybe Anselmino, from what Maresca sees, because of in
terms of adapting to the manager's approach.
Correct. Yes. So look, with really thin, with Tosin not there, Badiashile not there, obviously Colwell not there. Obviously, Chalobah will play. He'll be that right centre back. He could even be the one in the centre. He could be the one that plays in that central role because he's the most experienced sort of left there anyway. So you might see him, and Acheampong maybe on the left centre back, and you might have Reece James maybe do the right centre back, or Cucurella play left centre back as well. And then Cucurella will really look out for obviously Chalobah if he plays centrally, because he won't have to go forward if he plays left centre back. So I think that could be a safe option. I think most likely that will happen. Maybe Reece James will invert into midfield, or he won't either as well. He might play as a right centre back, but I think he'll probably be the one inverting, starting at right back, and he'll be inverting, and Cucurella will stay back to cover, just to make sure to cover those counter attacks, how Crystal Palace like to play. And it gives you extra defensive cover back there. So I'm pretty sure Cucurella will be that left centre back, and maybe you'll see like Acheampong can play maybe that right centre back, and then Chalobah in the middle. That could be it. I don't think he'll trust Acheampong to play that CCB at the moment. It might be a surprise, but I don't think so. I think he still will choose Chalobah to do that role.
Yeah, definitely. You could argue Um, yeah, yeah, I think he's definitely the most suitable to fulfill that role for us. And
Hato's the other one,
okay,
of course, but we're not sure. Hato can maybe do that left centre back role as well.
he can. Whether the manager, whether he trusts him to do that,
If
I
he's
don't
ready or
know.
not. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, whether he's ready or not. Okay, thank you for that. And Chimera is saying to bring Garnacho. I want us to sign him as long as the manager wants him. I am surprised that Badiashile is still a Chelsea player. Here's the thing: I like him, but I did see something funny on X the other day. Somebody said something to the effect of he always gets injured once every transfer window period. So yeah, leading to us not even considering selling him because yeah, you don't sell an injured player. So that's a good joke for me, but I think he stays. The club value him a lot. Heto and Kukurea might start together tomorrow. It's a possibility. It's a possibility, but let's see. We're more solid if Heto plays CB. That's just your opinion. We signed him as a left back, but yeah, we'll see what happens. More likes, people. 12 likes. I'm quite sure we can do a lot better than that. 77 people following the show in total, 18 on YouTube only, and the rest shared between Facebook and X. Whether equally, I do not know. But please, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't also. Sincerely, do appreciate that. What was that? Something I wanted to say, not about Tosin. What was it about? Wow. Okay, if I remember what, I will bring it up. So let's see. After the Tosin topic, Bobby, you wanted to say anything? Have you spoken about that? I don't think you have.
What about Tosin?
Yeah, he's injured. You say can
Well, they
make
say
it
it's a
difficult for us
precaution,
to
isn't
have.
it?
You could say trusted backline. Go ahead.
You can say it's a precaution. I don't know what to say. It comes back to the age-old thing about presenting yourself from a position of weakness. We have to stop this. It's always Chelsea, nobody else. You know, we're not the only team out there with players, but yet we are the only team out there with consistent injuries. We either have to compensate for that with the squad, or uh, we address the reasons for that. Now, the the narrative is that Tosin is being uh, basically being taken care of as a precaution. Don't really know what that means, to be honest. I didn't know he was one of those that needed to be wrapped up in cotton wool. But if he is, then that's an even bigger problem because we have Chalaba, whose injury record isn't fantastic. We have Wesley Fofana, we all know about. Badiashile, we all know about, and and uh, Colwell, we know what's happened. So that's what, four of our centre backs that are somewhat shaky, and at the same time, we're apparently insisting on selling Renato Vega, which makes no sense to me right now. It just makes no sense right now. I just don't see the point in not speaking with him unless he doesn't want to do it. That's a different matter.
And
But
there's no way to
he
tell
should.
what's happening exactly.
Well, there's no way for us to tell. No, but he should. I feel he should be spoken to. This is an opportunity for everybody, and he could hang on till at least January time. There's no major need to sell him out of the squad. I don't know what's going on there. If he doesn't want to do that, fine. But if he's not opposed to it, I don't see why not. Because we're not at the moment active in the transfer market for a centre back, and we still have him in reserve somewhere. That's the only answer, if you ask me.
Yeah, he's not training or anything, not involved with the squad or training or anything. So that just
He
tells
must
you,
be
no, he's not part
training.
of it.
He's
And he
not
won't be
not
part of it.
he's
He would have
not
been
not
already there.
He's not.
he's
He's
not
not Bobby.
not
He's not training.
training
He's not training with the squad.
He's
with the
not.
That
squad. Yeah, but he's got to be. He's keeping fit because he wants a transfer. Apparently, he's not going to go
Yeah, but
to a
he's not
club.
with the squad. So that's a big.
Yeah,
That
that
tells you
was
that
what Dante
Maresca is
wanted
not
to say.
welcoming him
He's
back.
not training with the Chelsea squad.
I'm not sure how relevant that would be in the short term, but
I
I
mean,
hear you.
it gives you an idea whether he's wanted or not at the
Oh yeah, I
moment.
mean, there's no doubt that at the moment he's frozen out. No doubt whatsoever. How long that will be, only time will tell. But at the moment, we have only one centre back against Crystal Palace. Don't want to hear any nonsense about Eberiche Eze not playing. Don't think it's relevant. Could well be a
It's
smokescreen.
not.
I
It's
don't want
not.
to
They had
hear
Mhm.
anything about playing centre backs with Hato and Cucurella and all that. These are all vertically challenged players. We cannot do that. We've got Mateta, I think his name is, to deal with, and a few other very sturdy players. You need your rock solid, tall centre backs. What are they going to do now? Put Josh Achipong there? Maybe, but he's very young, very lean in terms of his physicality. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they'll try him with Chalobah and see how that goes. But it's not solid enough. This is just Chelsea doing what we do, and we keep putting ourselves in a position of weakness when we can very easily walk into these games from a position of strength. It's not great.
We'll see. We'll see how the manager handles the situation tomorrow. But I think as long as we defend as a unit, I think we'll be all right. Chimera saying we have the depth in that back line. It's just a matter of if they are good enough to make the cut. It's up to the manager to decide. And I'm going to say something I've said before. I've seen people losing their head on X saying something that suggests they're Chelsea and backing the manager and the SZs just don't just want to do their thing. And I'm going to say something I already said. Look, if we end up not signing a CB, it'd be because they've had a conversation with the manager and concluded that there's no need buying one. The manager has earned the right to be backed, and I think everything we've seen so far indicated, yeah, they want to support him, they want to back him. But of course, people will, you could say, take what they feel is what they believe is the case and run with it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to try to explain anything away again. But my understanding, if you ask me, I'd say even if we do want to buy a CB, the manager made a mistake by speaking about it the way he did, using the word priority. Which, if selling clubs, if they hear that, when you go to them and say you want a certain player, yeah, they know. For me, that screams that you're desperate. And everything else we're hearing with regards to whether we'd sign a CB or not, for me, is just to dial down. You could say that's desperation, in my opinion, saying, "Yeah, we don't want a CB. We're packed in that department. If we end up signing one, it'd be because we see a very good opportunity that we cannot pass." Something to that effect. But that's, by the way, we'll see. Vertically challenge is the most political answer. I'm not gonna talk to you on Bobby. All right, let's move on to the next item. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We're stuck in 13 likes, I think, but we can do a lot better than that. With Xavi Simmons, I think nothing new. I think it's gonna happen. The same news that we are locked in talks with RB Leipzig. Negotiations are going on between Manchester United and Chelsea behind the scenes. That one will eventually happen. All right, so history, more like it on Google here. I'm going to read it. Usually, it does have a lot of interesting stuff, so that's why I started using it. Let me zoom out a bit so that those of you watching at home can see, what we have there. I think this one would be better. All right, let me see. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Give me a second. Yeah, I was going to create a lot of problems for myself. So yeah, the insights, you can call that history if you want to. Pretty much, Chelsea are unbeaten in their last 15 Premier League games against Crystal Palace, 13 wins, 2 draws. Their longest active run against any of the 19 other sides involved in the 25-26 season. But that doesn't mean that, yeah, we're definitely beating them. Crystal Palace's last victory at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League came in April 2017 under Sam Allardyce, a 2-1 victory. Since then, they failed to win or win on any of their last 8 trips in league action, losing 7 of those matches and drawing 1. All right. Next one is this will be this will be just the second time Chelsea and Crystal Palace have faced each other on match day 1 of a league season, with the Blues having won 3-0 at Stamford Bridge on the opening day of the 2021-2022 campaign. And item number 4 there reads that this is the 5th time Chelsea have begun a Premier League campaign with a London derby, winning each of the previous 4 versus West Ham in 2000, Charlton in 2002, West Ham in 2016, and Crystal Palace in 2021. They've also won the last 2 times their first league games has been against the previous season's FA Cup winner. Who takes the time to find out these things? Beaten. I wouldn't do such thing, honestly. If I had such a job, I will always not deliver, honestly. So they've also won the last 2 times. Their first league games has been against the previous season's FA Cup winners, beating Portsmouth 4-0 in 2008 and Manchester United 1-0 in 2004. But here's the thing: insights don't win you games, and you cannot predict football. You predict, but more of an assumption. It again at the end, because it's played over 90 minutes plus added time. You can always conclude what the most likely outcome would be. So that's why I'm saying insights don't win you games, but it gives you an idea what the most likely outcome would be. And item number 5 reads: Chelsea lost 2-0 against Manchester City in their opening Premier League match last season. Last losing on match day 1 in consecutive campaigns in 1997-98 season, 98-99 season versus Coventry City, both times. Dang it. That's deep, but that I don't know. Anything you want to talk about from what I just read, the insights here from Google? I think a lot of information there.
Yeah, a lot of information. Another little fun fact is when we did play Crystal Palace, who do you think started at centre back?
Who was it?
Who do you think started at centre back when we played Crystal Palace?
I'd say, yeah. I mean, it's easy to say it's Koa.
And the other one?
Who was it? Was it Chalaba? I don't know. I don't remember. Who was it?
Acheampong.
The pairing. How did that game end?
1-1.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so Acheampong did start against Crystal Palace when we did play them. That was one of his rare games that he started in the Premier League. So, yeah, interesting to see that there. So Maresca has used him against Crystal Palace before. So that could be a little clue that he might use him again. This was when we had defenders available, by the way, as well. So, but yeah, look, he did start there, which was interesting. I just noticed that. So, yeah, that could be a little clue that he might trust him in this game, especially with the injuries. But because he did play that in that game, yeah, very interesting that he played there. Gusto actually played as well, and Cucurella. So it was basically Colwell. The back three was Cucurella, Colwell, Acheampong in that game. Gusto going forward and inverting into midfield and along the side. So yeah, Cucurella, like I said, he will probably most likely start this game as left back, but then in possession left centre back. I think Acheampong will be that like in that game, that right centre back, and then in the middle will probably be Chalobah in the middle because experience, obviously, and physicality, strength, not too bad in the air either. So, yeah, look, I think that gives us a clue. He's trusted him against Crystal Palace before. Once when we played Crystal Palace, yeah, that he probably will go there again. So, might be the clue that tells us he will go for Acheampong again.
It's a possibility. Given the absence of Tosin too, if it's not available for selection, we might see Acheampong again. I agree. Chelsea backline is becoming injury prone now. I mean, not a bad argument right there. Weekly virus, no guarantee yet on the Berrichi Eze out of Crystal Palace squad for Chelsea game, according to Fabrizio Romano. I think you probably see him start, even if he's going to leave him. I think they can convince him to play for them, at least for that game. Big up to you too, Rich Money Mikos. Nice to see you. Legend Bobby, according to my trusted sources, Bayern Munich might speed up the Nkunku deal because they have gotten another injury to a player today. So that means that Simmons comes our way. And Simmons has made it clear he doesn't want to join any other club but a Chelsea Football Club. Palace will be high on that community trace where we must humble them. I hope so. Bobby, your thoughts? Do you have anything to say with regards to the insights which I just read? I read a few minutes ago. It looks like you're talking, but we can't hear you. Dante, can you hear Bobby?
I can hear Bobby. Yes, yes.
Okay,
Bobby
go
here
ahead,
doesn't know
Bobby.
what you're talking about, Coach. He probably wasn't listening when you were reading that out. So
What were you saying?
it's just you
Palace will
read
be
quite a bit of
high
the
on
inside out.
confidence.
Yeah, just insight on what we did against Crystal Palace, and
Oh, you can
I
just
just
talk
thought
about, are you looking
Yeah.
forward to the game? What sort of game do you expect?
Well, defensively, I'm not looking forward to the game. I mean, Josh may well start. Is that strong enough? I don't know. He's got to use him at some point in the season if he wants to blood him properly. But I don't think, in terms of height, having him, Chalaba, and Cucurella is the ticket. I really don't.
there's no one else,
Hustler,
Bobby.
well, Hustler is a very intelligent guy. Tactically, he will find a way around this, and there's a way that can be found quite simply by using height. Um, we can't underestimate that, and we'll just have to see what happens. I don't think it gives one confidence. Let's put it that way. Can Maresca pull it off? Yeah, I mean, there's enough. He could play tactically to the strengths of other parts of the field to maybe get by. But you see, Chelsea should stop this idea of going into games on the back foot, which is what we're doing. Liverpool didn't do it, Man City didn't do it, albeit playing somewhat weaker teams. I'm sick and tired of this always being the weakling of the bunch. Oh, we're the ones with the problems. Oh, we're the ones with the injuries. Oh, woe is us. We don't have this. We don't have that. That's weak mentality. That's not winning mentality. You go in strong from day one to the end. I think of the Jose Mourinho teams. There was none of this nonsense. It's none of this nonsense. He had his squad, they were all fighting for a place, and he picked his team. All of them tall, strong men on the field. I'm sick of all this. I cannot stand this thing that Chelsea do with their injuries. It's not acceptable to me, and I hope it doesn't punish us. Points matter. Every single game will matter this season. And you can't go in there underestimating Palace. They proved themselves to be a dangerous team, and they proved themselves to have a very capable manager. So what? You're going into that game already from a position of weakness. Not good enough. Not good enough at all. I'll maintain and I'll keep saying it. You have Renato Vega in your squad. He has the physicality, he has the technicality. Use him. Let's see if they do or not. It's most likely they won't, and they'll limp through the game. And if they're not careful, something silly will happen.
All right, you're
Well,
definitely
I'm
concerned,
still
but
pretty confident
we'll
we
see what happens.
beat Crystal Palace because we have the midfield and we definitely have the firepower to beat Crystal Palace. I'm not that worried, especially with Cucurella playing that left centre back role. That just makes us stronger defensively in that area. So the way Crystal Palace play as well, and yes, it is still important that they're not going to have Eze, maybe not Guehi, which is their organizer at the back. Eze is basically their playmaker. Everything goes through him. It is still important they don't have those players, but you are right. They will play differently. They will go wide and they will get crosses in because of that. But I still think we have enough to handle that, especially in the midfield and going forward. I'm not worried about that. I think we can definitely, even if they score, we will still outscore them and we'll still beat them, in my opinion. So I'm not too worried. I think we're still going in pretty strong, in my opinion. Probably the strongest we've been, especially going forward. Definitely the strongest we've been.
All right, match preview proper have started. So the vote, the poll here, who will win? From 4,378 votes, 73% thinks Chelsea will beat Palace, 16% thinks he ends in a draw, and 11% thinks Palace will beat Chelsea at home. I think the worst result for City tomorrow will be a draw, but I think we'll beat them. Let's see. Once again, I'm not saying go bet your life. You should go bet your life savings. Yeah, football is played over 90 minutes plus at the time. You don't know how it's going to end. For injuries, they have Chadi Reed, Caleb Koha, Cheikh Umar Dakore, Daichi Kamada, Edward Keita, Matthews França. I remember that. We wanted to sign him, right? And for Chelsea, Romero Lavia, not ready, mid-September. Omari Kellerman, mid-September. Levi Cowell, late April 2026. Dang it, he's going to be out for a while. Benoit Badiashile, mid-September. Wesley Fofana, that's a chance he starts, actually. He's been fit for a while, hasn't he, Dante?
He has. He's been training for a while and training, in the preseason as well. Quite hard training. So it just depends, on Maresca's season training in the last couple of weeks, what we've seen. So he could be a surprise start. You never know. From what he said, probably not this game, the next game, but you never know. If they do a proper fitness test, last fitness test to see if he can pass it, he might be put back in. But are they going to rush him back in? I don't know. I don't think after what happened last time, I don't think they will do that, to be honest.
Let's see. But he's been training for a while now. I think it's different this time. He was rushed back. I don't think if he plays tomorrow, we're rushing him back. 23-4. Are you scared of Crystal Palace? No, I'm not. Just I respect their manager. It'd be correct to say he's a tactical genius, honestly. And he's so confident in his ability to counter the opposition approach that he said publicly that he told a certain manager if they play the same way next time they'd beat them. Yeah. 5 hours. Okay, this says what am I reading there? Nick Fadley says 5 hours of the fight. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't watch. It looks like he's talking about boxing. I don't watch boxing. Sorry. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 13 likes. I know we can do a lot better than that. We're streaming in landscape format now. We don't get a lot of views when that happens. Yes, that people start streaming consistently in that format, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see. So, they have a lot of players out, and in their last 5 games, they won 2, drew 2, lost 1. In our last 5 games, we won all of them. And how many goals did Crystal Palace score in their last 5 games? They scored 2 here, 3 here, that's 5, 3 here, that's 8, 1 here, that's 9, and we scored 2 here, 4 here, 7, 9, and 4. That's 9 and 4. That's 13 in total. So we scored a lot more than them. Not a lot more. I think 3 more. 13 for us. Let me count this again. 4 here, 7, 9. Okay, and then 13. And they scored 2 here, 5 here, 8 here, 9. Okay, 4 more. We scored 4 more than them, and they conceded how many? They conceded one here, one there, one here. The goal concession is you can say average one. For us, we don't concede that much too. And in those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, we conceded just 2 goals. So the numbers are looking good for us right now. It says that we should have a statement win. I just want us to win, whether it ends up being a statement win or not. I just want us to start the season with a win. We should have a statement win to kick off our season. I'd take it, but I don't think it'd be that easy. Okay, just quickly, my boy knocked on the door here. He said to tell you guys that we're gonna win four. Is it 5-1 or 4-1? I think he said either of the two. But let's see whether he gets that correct. All right. So nothing much
Nice
to look at
prediction.
here. What?
I said that's a very nice prediction. I love it.
It is, yeah. And if it comes true, yeah, I owe him a lot. So look at this. How do we compare to them? I think it's important to look at that. Goals overall for 24-25 Premier League season, it was 76.3 for us. For them, 49.5. So we score a lot more than them. Attacking, we're at 91.1. They're at 62.6. We have better attack than them. Possession, of course, 83.1, 17.7 for them. Counters, 95. We're actually an excellent counter-attacking side. A lot of people don't know that. They think all we do is pass the ball around. But we counter quite a lot. So for counters, 95.4 for us, 80.2. You can argue 80.2, they're pretty good at it also. And for this particular game, I don't think we'll get a chance to counter. They'd be the one to have plenty of opportunities to counter because I do believe we'll be on them. For defending 71.0, there's 58.2. But given the absence of Levi Colwell and Tosin, I don't know whether our defense will reflect that 71.0 there. Physicality, they are more physical than us. 40.1 to us, 35.1. Preston 60.3 us and 25.2 theirs. So we press better than them. But in this case, the fact that we're a better counter-attacking side doesn't matter because we're beyond them. They'd be the one that have a lot of opportunities to counter our play. I don't know. But Dante, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, that's their game. They like to obviously a bit more defensively solid. The two wide backs that fall back into a back five. So then they like to counter attack, go wide, get some balls into the box to Mateta. So or on the counter attack. So that's the main ways of attacking, basically. So that's why I think Cucurella will probably start a left centre back. He can combat any counter attack like that with his speed and his closing down. Josh is not bad at that. That's why maybe he might start in that right centre back position. Because
would you say Josh is quick?
Yes, very quick. Yes, very quick. He's tall, lanky, but he's quite lightweight. But he's very quick. He covers a lot of ground, big, tall strides, and covers a lot of ground. Very quick acceleration. You've seen when he carries the ball, it's very hard to take for players to catch up to him. He's very, very quick when he gets going. So in open space, I'm not worried about him out wide closing down. And let's not forget, he's a right back, grown up as a right back. So he's got that quick pace and that out wide, he's very good. Centrally, a bit of a problem because defensive IQ defensively, as in positioning, it doesn't matter how quick you are. Yeah, it doesn't matter how quick you are. Positioning is key and IQ is key then in the central areas. Obviously, it helps athleticism, height, physicality, but it is way more important, your IQ and your positioning. That is number one. I mean, we saw Levi Colwell the first half of the season. Doesn't matter how, tall, physical you are good. If your IQ is not there and your positioning is not right, you'll get punished. And he did quite a lot in the start early in the season, Levi Colwell. But we were still able to win those games because we outscored everyone. Remember, we were winning, 3-2, 4-2, 3-1. We always conceded, and we knew we were going to concede because we weren't quite ready defensively. but our firepower was too much. And I think again today, this time, our firepower is even much more potent right now. We have players that can destroy teams even more right now, wide areas and also up front. So yeah, I'm. Like I said, I probably expect we might concede a goal because of it, but I'm very confident we will outscore them by quite a bit.
I mean, numbers say, yeah, that's a possibility. But
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see how that.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
Chalobah is going to have the most important role in this game because he will be that central. Most likely, in my opinion, 90%, 95%, he will be that central main guy, and he will have the job to mark Mateta. That will be his job. Mark Mateta also kind of lead that back line as well. So yeah, he's going to have a very important game. This will tell us quite a lot how far he's come. Because there's no one else to play that role. He's the leader in that defense. With his age, his physical, he's a big guy. He's a proper central back. He will have a very, very important game. There will be a lot on his shoulders, and let's see if he can handle that pressure.
Yeah, I don't know, Bob, if you want to add anything to that. And Dante, I don't want to lose this. I want you to talk about what we need to do
Yeah,
to beat them and beat them convincingly.
yeah. I
Once Bob is
mean,
done speaking, I'll catch up with what we have in the chat and I'll have you talk about that. Go ahead, Bobby.
football evolves and moves in various directions. There's no secret to the fact, and even after watching them today, that Pep Guardiola is going more physical. He's seen the importance of that. Um, Height, physique, strength. That's what he's doing with Man City now. Um, there's never been a team that won the Premier League without a solid defense. Never. I don't buy this. We've got firepower. We should be able to. Football. If football worked like that, then some of the most entertaining teams we've seen would have been champions. I don't like it. I think it's a risk. Yeah, we might survive it and get away with it tomorrow. But it's a risk, and it should not be happening at Chelsea. We should be invested in a more solid back line, in as much as we have invested in the offensive area. There's no point fixing the attack only to lose the defense. That just that is just stupidity. The problem we had last season was the attack and finishing. We've addressed that, but yet we've gone stupid at the back. We don't look strong. We don't look any stronger. Um, since the injury to Colwill and now these other situations has exposed a lack of personnel. It's exposed a weakness. Now, Wesley Fofana, will he be on the bench? Let's hope so. How
He could
much?
start, actually.
No, he's not going to start. He's not played
Okay.
football for goodness knows how long. How can you start a player that hasn't played football
That's
for
a good
months?
argument. Yeah, that's a good argument. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So he will be at best on the bench. And then what? Physicality matters. This is the Premier League. You watch every single game you've seen today, and you will see that there is the physical element. In the English game, you fight first to gain the right to play. If you lose that battle, you will not be able to play. And yes, we have a midfield, which okay, okay, I think it's their battling qualities and their skill that would see them through more than their physicality. We have the strikers now, but if you don't have that defense, you can be setting yourself up for a problem. We've seen it before. A Premier League team can score one fluky goal, maybe towards the end of the game, maybe towards the beginning of the game, and shut up shop, and you have a problem. Why put yourself in that position? Why? I think it's pointless. I think it's ridiculous. And yes, we have the players. We have one player in our midst that we're trying to sell. I'm still unconvinced that at this point in time, it's the right thing to do. If you ask me, I would just call this guy. You're still our player. You're still contracted to us. We're still paying your wages. Come and play. If he gets on the field and his attitude stinks, um, that in itself is a risk. You know, we would need to sit down and clarify exactly what the position is with him, and the fact that we haven't even seen him in any of the training videos or anything like that. I think that may have been answered, but then we have a problem. Josh Acheampong, yeah, I saw him. I like him. I think he's a good defender. I just think he lacks physicality. Um, what can we do? What can we do? We don't have a choice at the moment, and we might just have to wing it yet again. Chelsea being Chelsea, going into a match from a position of weakness when they could be going in from a position of strength. It's very unfortunate.
All right, Dante, let me catch up, and I want you to answer the question: what we need to do to beat them. Here we have Richard Moneymaker saying, "I remember the last game when we played the Crystal Palace, and Jackson missed some big chances to win the game. So with our strikers being more clinical, we should win." Okay, somebody agreeing with Dante there. Joao Pedro will score the chances Jackson missed. I hope he does. Mateta is the only main threat. That is, if a Berichez doesn't play tomorrow. From Caicedo to Joao Pedro or the Lab, I believe in them. And this one here, we have moved from Guy and Jackson to the Lab and Joao Pedro. All those missing chances by Jackson are now a thing of the past. There's no guarantee that will be the case until proven otherwise. But Dante, what do we need to do to beat them tomorrow?
Well, first of all, definitely possession will be key. Keep the ball away from them, make them chase, run around after the ball, and keep possession. And that also protects your back line quite a bit as well. Doing that, of course. So I think that'll be a main emphasis from Maresca to keep possession in the right areas. And
Okay, stop them off the ball and
yes,
yeah.
exactly. You starve them off the ball. Look for weaknesses. Take them out of position as much as possible, and then exploit those weaknesses. So one of our weaknesses against teams like that when they sat back was getting balls into the box. Like I said, Pedro Neto is the number one player in the Premier League for accurate crosses into the box. So
But we
we
haven't had a potent striker get at the end of them.
not nowhere near close. Even Jackson couldn't even compete for most of those balls because he's horrible in the air, and he's not really that strong either. He's very easily pushed off the ball. For those big defenders, he's not strong. Joao Pedro has got the height, and he's deceptively very strong as well. But it's his positioning and IQ, what he does in those moments, where he positions himself, which is important. So you've already saw that in the preseason how good he is at that, and how good Pedro Neto is at picking those out. We know Enzo Fernandez is amazing at picking those out, but Pedro Neto now, he's that is one of his strengths in his game, and you saw it against AC Milan and Leverkusen to a certain extent, but AC Milan, not Leverkusen. You saw that he can do that very well, and I saw it last season. I knew once we get a striker in there that can do that, those are easy finishes for a striker because the ball's just put out on a plate for them. They just have to guide it in basically. So he loves those little chip balls to people up front. We just had no one to finish those off. So those will be very important from angles, creating those angles and getting those balls in. And you've got Joao Pedro, you've got Delap if he plays. He's very good in the air at those as well, positioning and attacks the ball, quite ferociously every time. He keeps those defenders busy. Yeah, look, I think that's the key. Keeping a lot of possession, protecting that back line with it. I think Cucurella sitting back in this game and playing as a left centre back, I think that would be very important. It just counters any counter they have. Well, you've got speed there to counter that. I think Josh Mpong has got the speed to play at right centre back to counter that out wide as well. And then basically, like I said, if Chalobah, and most likely will be him in that central role, he's got basically one job, and that is to watch everything, keeping him in line, and Mateta, that's his man. Mark Mateta. Do not let any balls come into Mateta. You don't need to have the height to beat Mateta. You need to have strength, and which one he does. He's a very strong player, Shalaba. You have to just put a body on him, even if he's gets to the
Just
ball with his head.
unsettle him.
You just need to unsettle him, and you need to niggle at
Hmm.
him and keep him unsettled. Keep someone's always on him there. So there's a ball coming in, cross to him. You just got to body him. It doesn't matter how tall you are. If you body a player, he cannot get an accurate header off. It doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, he needs to have that. And he has that. He actually that's one thing he has. He does pretty well. He's very strong, and he always puts a body on a player most of the time when he can. If he's close enough, he does that pretty well. That's one of his better sides to his game. Not the best in the air, but like I said, you don't need to be if you're smart enough and he's strong enough, which he is. You body that player, he's not getting an accurate header off. It doesn't matter how tall you are. So that'll be the key to the game. But I think firepower, we've got it. We've got Palmer who can unlock those defenses, and like I said, Joao Pedro with his link up play, his positional, his IQ, his runs, and of course we've got the wide players as well. So we've got a very strong arsenal going forward. Creativity now, smart players, and I'm hoping and I'm believing that we can score goals in this game. We scored the first goal. The first goal is key. Glasner's going to go there, shut up shop. He's going to try to get a result. He's going to try the 1-1, 0-0. He wants a result first day of the Premier League, especially if Eze is not there. Where we don't know, question marks. He will go there to get a result. He will not want to lose.
I still think it's a place.
They're both.
Yeah, he's not going to play open, expansive football. There's no way he's playing that against Chelsea. He's too smart
You
to do
think?
that.
As
No, he's not doing that. If he does that, we'll rip him apart. Like, they'll get absolutely destroyed if they do that. That is not happening. He's too smart for that. He will play uh, tight football, hold it, give us all the possession, and try to catch us on the counter. Set pieces, of course, they'll try to exploit and try to get as many fouls in our half so they can get set pieces. Because obviously our lack of, at the back with some of the main defenders out. So that is the only way I see them scoring, to be honest. But look, it's still a solid game plan, and we know he's a very smart coach. He will do that. But Maresca, I think, has enough tools at his disposal going forward and in that midfield to combat that, in my opinion. No problem.
Sanchez has to be in his A game tomorrow with high claims to help with the set piece situation.
He needs to come out every time there's a ball
Yeah.
in the area, and there's basically they go for Mateta all the time, or their centre back, the other one that's tall. Other than that, they don't really have big, quite that big, players. The rest of them are more technical, small players as well. So yeah, I know Bobby's saying physicality is very important, but they're not as physical as other teams. They're not quite that physical. So I think we can combat that.
They're
no
just
problem.
slightly, according to what the stats say, they're slightly more physical than us.
Slightly more than us, yes.
This is
Yes.
this is the exact point I'm making. We're reaching. We're reaching. We
What's the
should have
reach,
a
Bobby?
squad. We're reaching
let
in
me
that
speak,
we're like, oh, so and so could do this. Let's hope. No, we should have a squad that will go and dominate. There's
We
all
do.
this
And you
talk.
don't think we can dominate? I think, Bobby, I
I
think
don't
you're
think so.
concerned,
I
or
am
let me say,
concerned. Yes, I think defensively we're lacking.
driven by the
We,
by the injury to Tosin, I think.
yeah,
But
it is.
go ahead with what you were saying.
Defensively we're lacking in the Premier League. In the Premier League, you want to win. You want to be solid. You want to be strong. Then go into the game. You don't go into the game limping. Oh, let's put Cucurella here and all that. It's a limp. Yeah, he's okay, but he's not a solid left centre back for the Premier League. It's that simple. So we're struggling. Chalobah in the centre of the centre backs is fine. He's played there before. He's done a good job there before. Josh, well, he's new. I think it's a risk, but you have to take these risks with these youngsters in order to develop them. That's why we have them in the squad. But the back three will look shaky without Tosin, that's for sure. And we don't need that. We don't need this sort of shaky, weak appearances. We go into a game looking strong, being strong. Yet again, I revert to you saw Man City today. You saw Liverpool the day before. You saw even the Spurs game. The way you go into these games is with strength. You start going there with all these pussyfooting things that Chelsea do. It's a risky thing. It's risky. That's all I'm saying. We might survive it, but I don't want to be seeing that this season.
That's a drastic shift in your perception of the team from 4 days ago when you spoke very highly of them, probably because you saw
Yes,
them up
because
close.
we had
But go ahead,
defensive.
go ahead.
Yes, because we had the defensive solidity. I felt the strength of the team. You see, you have to be strong in every area, and we showed that in the game I went to see against AC Milan. But now all this shaky stuff we're doing. Oh, Tosin's not there. We don't have Badiashile. We don't have Fofana really. Maybe a little bit. Now we got a patch with Cucurella left centre back. This is sloppy.
Cucurella's not a patch, Bobby. He's played there a lot.
He is a patch for the Premier League. This is sloppy stuff. It's not the real deal. You
Hmm.
see teams going there tall, strong, powerful at the back. Don't give me Cucurella left centre back. He's not tall enough. That's just the reality.
In a
We're
back three, Bobby,
pretending.
he's very good as a left centre back.
Well, we don't have a choice, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. A high ball in there, then we leave Rob Sanchez exposed, and then he might come flapping. It's clumsy.
I want to see Houston, Bobby. I want to see again. I hope you. Definitely you're gonna be part of the post game show tomorrow. If we win, I will compare what you say at the time to
No,
what you're saying now.
I'm not saying
Look,
we can't win. We could limp
Houston.
across.
I understand you. I know you too well to know to be able to realize immediately that your concern is driven by the absence of Tosin and also what's his name, Levi Cowell. Bobby,
Yes.
let's hear your lineup. You go first.
Well, we don't have a choice. We've called the back three, the
Okay.
centre back three.
Just 1 second. Well,
So
Sanchez
it is
between the
what it is.
sticks, right?
Sanchez, Cucurella left, Chalaba centre, young Josh on the right. We don't have a
All
choice.
right. All right. Just give me one
Um,
second here. So Kukurea here. Just give me a second. Let me plug in the back line. Okay. Who on the left here?
um, did you say Cucurella right or left? Left.
Kukurea
Cucurella.
left back, left center back. Let me just use that language.
Yeah. That's if
Okay.
we're playing a back three. If we're playing, let's
No,
start.
I think we'll see this as the starting structure.
Let's start with the flat back
Definitely.
four. You know,
Yeah,
Cucurella,
that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Cucurella left back.
Hmm.
The centre backs, Chalaba and Josh, whether left or right, I don't think it matters.
Okay. The placement doesn't really matter, but
Um,
Chalobah and Josh. Okay.
right back starting, we're going to need Reece James. Please God, may he maintain his fitness. Midfield, well, we know what our midfield is. Caicedo and gosh, what's his name? Fernandez. If Fernandez is not quite fit, I'm not sure he is, to be
He
honest.
is 100% fit, Bobby.
Oh, he's 100% fit. Okay, then
Yeah.
Fernandez. Then this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky. Palmer will play ahead of them. Um, then on the right, do we go uh, Neto or do we go Estevao? I think we'll go Neto because we still have five subs and there will be substitutions. Down the middle,
Neto on the left or on the right.
right, definitely on the right. Down the middle,
Okay.
as a striker, It's an interesting one, but I know he'll start with Joao Pedro. And on the left, um, who've we got? I'm not keen on Jamie Gittens in this game on the left, to be honest. But yet again, I can see why the clamour for what's his name, Garnacho. So we'll go Gittens. You know, Gittens, I think, is still a little bit on the weak side. He's good. His footwork is lightning, but depending on the team, and I would rather have a more solid person in there. But okay, we'll start with him. We've got a bench, and somehow in the bench we can shuffle around your Estevaos and whoever else can play that position. Not
All
even
right,
sure.
Dante, do you differ here?
Uh, at the back, Josh will probably be that right centre back, not a left centre back. He won't be the central. I doubt he'll be the central guy leading that back line. I don't see that happening, to be honest.
like, okay, that's because it's again application is back three, right?
Correct. Yes, in possession is back three. So it will be Cucurella, Chalaba, Josh. I think that will be your back three.
Yeah,
Josh
because
is better
yeah,
out
yeah, yeah,
wide. He
yeah.
can use his speed, acceleration, no problems there. So James will invert most likely into that midfield from that right back. So with Enzo Fernandez, of course, pushing. This is out of possession. In possession, yeah, as you know, he changes. So James will invert into that midfield role. Enzo will push forward as the 10 next to Palmer, and Neto out wide. Gittins out wide. It'll be interesting to see if Maresca goes with Gittins from the start. This is the type of game where if you had a Xavi Simmons, he'll be perfect for this type of game. If they're going to sit in a low block Palace, well then sometimes player like Gittins, your really wide players, they tend to struggle because there's no space and it's basically two on one every time against him. So you don't use his talents as much in those situations. Now, it all depends how Palace plays, of course, but if Eze's not there, if Guehi might not be there, well, then there's no way they're playing how they usually do. With sometimes they get out. They're going to sit quite back, especially away from home. They like
Do you
to.
think he'll start Tyreek George? It's about the same
No,
thing
I
as
don't.
Gittins.
Tariq George,
No,
no, I don't think
probably
Tariq.
not gonna place. Except if things go south and the manager
Yeah,
likes to start throwing spaghetti on the wall,
yeah,
hoping that it will stick. But if things are going well, Tariq George won't even get a chance to play.
pretty much. I think as well. He might
Yeah.
come on, at the
He
end,
might
like
come on later on, but I think he would
if we're
take
winning.
us
Yeah.
struggling that the manager just wants to try options, all options available to him to see if that changes the situation.
You know
But
what?
if
This is the kind of game that Jackson would have been good to start on the left.
very, very, yeah,
No, I
yeah.
disagree. I don't think so. I don't think
Can you explain? Can you explain why you disagree? We want to know.
he's
You can't
horrible
just
against
tell
low
us you
blocks.
disagree and not tell us.
If he plays, he's not scored like a goal. He's not done absolutely nothing against low blocks ever in his career so far. He's horrible against low blocks. He can't drop deep. There's no
So you
space.
anticipate that they're gonna defend deep?
I do because with Eze not being there, the creative player when they play out to, he's the one they play out to from the defense or the defensive midfielders as well. From Wharton, everything goes through Eze in that 10 basically role. He drops in that 10 role and everything goes through him. If he's not there, they don't have no outlet. They don't have a player like that in their squad. Uh, if Guehi's not there as well, which looking quite possible, well, then that's their defensive leader, organizer gone as well. Away from home as well at Stamford Bridge, every time they've come and played, they've sat back very deep. And that's with their normal lineup. Now, even more, I think he'll be even deeper and probably even much more lower block. And instead of Eze, I'll probably see another midfielder come in. I think there'll be another midfielder in that position to come in off their bench. It'll be more of a central midfielder than an actual attacking midfielder. So I see them trying to pack up that middle and sitting back and then trying to catch out wide and getting to Mateta in the middle crosses in or, just in behind. because we will play a more of a high line, mid to high line against them. We'll have probably 70% of this possession in this game, in my opinion. So even games we see before, we should have won all those games against them. But we just didn't finish. We didn't finish off. Jackson, etc. Most of those games did not finish off. We created many chances. But like I said, when they play a little bit more expansive football if they've got their creative players on the field, but they won't this time. So I expect them to sit back. They usually do that when they don't have those creative players playing. So we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, I would personally, I would. This is a game I would not play Gittins. I would actually play Joao Pedro there and put Delap up front.
Why the lap? Yeah, why the lap actually?
Delap would keep those defenders very busy, physical, good in the air. We can get boxes into him as well. And Joao
I can
Pedro
actually
making
help
those
defend Mateta in a set piece situation.
and correct, and set pieces. He can take Mateta from set pieces as well. Correct. That's another point. The only thing with that is that would be awesome if Cucurella was actually playing his usual game, and I don't think he will this game because I think he'll need to sit back more likely. I don't. If he does go forward, I would play Joao Pedro and he can come inside. Obviously, if Cucurella overlaps. If not, then obviously it's probably this way is probably the better to go. But it all depends on Cucurella. But I think he'll stay back because we need that extra defensive cover for breakaways, and he's very good at that. Cucurella, he'll shut down anything that happens like that. So you need that protection against Chalobah to protect him. Chalobah, like I said, will have one job: stay centrally, watch everything that happens, and get involved if you need to. If not, let Josh and Cucurella do all that running out wide. Just keep your own Mateta, because that's the only guy they will go to, from out wide. So, yeah, look, this is probably that will go. But yeah, I would have loved to see Pedro in that left wing position coming in as a 10/second striker next to Palmer, Cucurella overlapping against low blocks. I think that is the best lineup to go against low blocks, because Gittins can struggle against low blocks because there's no space to run into, and there's always two players on him in this. It's basically him, against two players. When it's
Because
open,
they
it's
know him,
one-on-one.
yeah.
Yeah, when it's open, it's one-on-one, and you saw how good he is with his feet. He'll get past one-on-one, probably 70. I think he's got like 74% rate of getting past his man, which is very, very high. So he's very quick.
You can say he's top the whole world actually.
Bobby saw his
top
quick
league,
feet. He
yeah.
mentioned that. He saw him live. He saw how quick he's with his feet, how quickly he shuffles the ball, how quickly he can put a defender off and get around him, no problems with acceleration as well. So yeah, that's the only worry. Against low blocks, that's probably his kind of weakness as well. And that's why I think we got Joao Pedro. And that's why we want Xavi Simons. For this game, he would have been perfect on that left-hand side instead of Giddens. Against any low block, yes, he would be perfect.
Yeah, Fabrizio just released a new video. I think he's deliberate with the way he crafted the title. He led with deal off. he led with deal off, and then he mentions Xavi Simons off. Xavi Simons in the title. So I'm looking to see if the big account picked up on what he said there. Brighton supporter dies after falling ill at stadium during second half of Saturday's match. Wow, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, man. The person's so rest in peace.
He's good at his titles at gaining attention. It's usually something else, nothing to do with what else is in the title. It's separate from that.
Yeah, he led with it, but cautiously crafted so you don't say, but your title say deal off. What are you referencing? So you can argue he knows exactly. So yeah, Xavi Simons keeps waiting for Chelsea. So the new update is there on Vince's page. I was looking for that. So he reads, Xavi Simons keeps waiting for Chelsea despite Bayern, Man City, and more rumors in recent days. His clear desire is to join Chelsea. I think we must have given him a guarantee. We must have told him, look, we're not forfeiting this deal. We want it. We're just doing what we want to get the best deal. Because if that isn't the case, I think, it has gone long enough for him to, you could say, for his head to be turned.
And also with Leipzig as well, we've probably got an agreement on price, and they probably said if someone comes in with a little bit higher price, show us that deal, and we'll match it. Basically, any deal that comes in, we can match it. So I think, yeah, I still think he will be a Chelsea player. Like I said, it's very critical we move players out. He cannot be registered. We'll have a Barcelona situation if we sign him. We won't be able to register him.
Ooh,
So,
that aspect. Yeah. A lot of people aren't paying attention to that aspect, actually.
well, it's the most important aspect in this deal. That's why it's getting held up. That's why the Garnacho ones moved ahead a little bit and probably could be done, because that doesn't count for Garnacho. He's counted as the under 21, so it doesn't count for Garnacho. Garnacho goes on the B list. You can have as many registered under 21 as you want. Doesn't matter. Xavi Simons is 22, 23, so he goes on the A list. That is very important. We need to move at least 2 more players to be able to register him, which we will, because we've got a lot of players to move, but they haven't moved yet. So we need to move 2 players to be able to actually register him on that A list, because he is over the he's over the 21-year-old the B list. You cannot put him on that B list. So yeah, it's very, very important. This is why it's getting held up, in my opinion. It's been held up for a long time because of this. This still would have been
This
done.
is becoming crazy. I'm sorry. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, look, it is what it is. It's business. With one of the
Look,
downside of having too many players, this is one of those downsides with UEFA and FIFA's rules that they've tweaked. They don't want clubs signing huge amounts of players and then not being, having them still on the list and then signing other players. So they've kind of closed that loophole a little bit on teams to do that, to sign in volume, because some teams were starting to do that. They were starting to do what we did, starting to do what Nottingham Forest did. You can't really do that anymore. You have to have a balance. It's a new rule. It's a rule from UEFA that you have to have that. So, the rule was always there, but it was never enforced. And now it's been tweaked and they've enforced it. So yeah, you have to do it. Otherwise, you can't register Xavi Simons. You won't be able to register him. So there's no point doing a Barcelona and having sign a player, and then the player sits 2 months on the sideline and you can't register him or playing. Well, that player, first of all, won't want to come. He doesn't want to come into a mess like that. The only good thing is that Xavi Simons only wants us. But the longer this goes, that could also change. You never know. So, you got to be careful. That's the fine balance of squad building. You have to be very careful. Are we trying to move these players? 100%. Are we close to moving probably a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them? Very close. It just hasn't been done yet. So, and I think a lot of teams know that as well. And they are holding us a little bit ransom to that. Hence, they're sending stupid offers and low offers. They know we need to move some of these players.
Yeah, they know. This particular report got me laughing. He reads a post on social media from Xavi Simons was ring on his IG. Well, he's calling because he's waiting for Chelsea to pick up the phone and say, okay, come to London and have your medical. He wants to go to Chelsea. I'm not sure what to make of this.
It's funny, but it's true. Fabrizio knows. He's talking to his camp. He knows what's
Yeah,
happening.
he knows it's going to happen
He
anyway.
knows that's what's actually
Yeah.
happening. So he's joking about it now, but he knows. And it's not just Fabrizio. Like I said, some of the German, the guys that have, that get every single German deal basically right, that have connections inside these clubs, they've all said the same
Skycard?
thing.
Is it Skycard you're talking about? Or who?
Yeah, there's a Pettenberg, and there's a couple of them that always get those spot on. They're in Bayern. They're on, with Bayern, Dortmund, Leipzig. They're all very close to those clubs. They have connections with those clubs. They know everything that happens in those clubs. They never get a deal wrong ever. And he's exactly said the same things. He knows. So if that guy says those same things, Fabrizio saying those same things, well, it's pretty obvious that that's what's happening. So yeah, but like I said, the important thing is for us to sell those players. You will see him announce the next day, here we go, or that's actual day once that happens.
Yeah, we're lucky actually. But why would Man City want to sign Xavi? They have Turkey, who is traditionally a 10. And it's also good. Why
Well,
sign Xavi? I think the rumors were, for me, absolute nonsense in my opinion.
look, you never know. Yeah, like I said, Plettenberg and those said no. It's not. It's just a rumor. It's not true. They never came in for Simmons. So Bayern, yes, Bayern definitely for Simmons, but he said no, and hence it's gone cold. Nothing's happened. There's no team coming in for Xavi Simmons because they know they know what's happening. He said no to everyone. The representatives have said no to everyone. There's no point. If this drags on later, that could change. That is the risk you run. That
You
can
could
change.
say, yeah, I think it'd be correct to say if it wasn't at the sell-on clause, I think that this deal would be done by now, maybe. Except
Mm,
for the aspect of moving on players before accommodating him.
that's what I thought as well, coach, earlier on. But then I really looked into it deeper. And yes, UEFA are pushing that narrative, that directive they basically sent out saying, this is how it is. You guys need to do this, not just for Chelsea, for other teams as well. But Chelsea more than ever, of course, because how we conducted our business and how many loopholes we found. So yes, it is key that we do that. We have to sell. We have no choice but to sell if we want. We can sign him today, tomorrow, but then you're buying a player that you can't. There's no guarantees for the player. Then he can be stuck in limbo, and no player or their agents are going to agree to that. They want a deal done and certain and sealed and guarantees. We cannot guarantee that at the moment. So yeah, unfortunately, the good thing is we have a great relationship with Leipzig. That is very key as well. We have a very good relationship with them. So, and it's good they're not in a rush either. So that's they sold their main man, and they've got a lot of money for their main for Sesko. So they're pretty okay. It just gives them time as well to look for replacements as well, which they are actively doing at the moment. They're looking for their Xavi Simmons replacement as well, and Sesko's replacement as well. So they're busy as well doing that as well. So they're not in a hurry, maybe because of that as well.
Yeah. Bobby, anything else you want us to talk about before we call it a day?
Yeah,
Because I don't think it makes sense to start doing separate lineups because it's pretty much the same thing.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, let's see. This game kind of has shown that the squad is not as deep as people like to say it is. There are too many players on the sidelines. The selling of players is not as straightforward as people like to think it is. It's one thing to say a player's for sale. Another thing is for somebody wanting to buy the player.
exactly, Bobby.
I think Bayern Munich. It's always laughable when I hear they're after players. That's one club that is overstacked with players. It's so interesting. Europa and FIFA never really pay attention to that unless they think it's Chelsea. But Bayern have a lot of players. That's why I'm finding it very interesting what happens with Nkunku. I suspect Nkunku will not go there because he's not going to start. They have more than enough. He's going there to sit on the bench. That's just the reality. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. I don't know
He
where
won't be a
else.
bench player there, Bobby. Not at the moment.
Well,
I
he
think,
will.
yeah, they don't. Yeah, they have a few players out.
And they had another little
Yeah,
injury now yesterday as well. So in
yeah.
the
So
same
that
position,
adds,
one of the
yeah.
young
Didn't they
players.
play
So
this afternoon
That's
against
when they had another injury that would mean
who
that
was
they're
that?
serious about signing Nkunku. I can't quite remember who it was
it's just
entirely
one of the
right now.
young attacking midfielders, another young kid that they're really high on, but he's going to be out now as well. He wouldn't have been a starter anyway. He probably would have been, a
Well,
rotational piece.
if
But
they
that's
wanted to,
even they should be more desperate for a player now. They probably need
oh,
two, to be honest.
they should be, but they're not. They're not. They're not that keen. They're looking around. They're not particularly keen
I
on.
think for Nkunku they are now.
No, they are now.
They
Like I
are.
said,
Well,
We have,
German.
yeah,
Yeah, they've
club to
open
club
talk.
conversations have started.
Yeah, direct started. They're up to the price. Everything's pretty much going in the right direction with that one, and I think that'll get done pretty quickly. Especially what happened now, they need two players in that position, not even one anymore. They need two players in that position. So yeah, I think that I hope
It looks like we lost Dante. But anything else you want to say before we call it a day?
Yeah, I mean that's just it. Our squad is not as flush as people like to say it is. Um, we should wait and see what happens over the next couple of weeks in terms of these two players that we've heard more than enough about in news media, and in terms of a defender.
All right. Thank you so much, people. It's been an excellent conversation, and this is the predicted lineup. I think we all agree. No need to make another one. Is it this one? I think it's this one here. The first one. We agree pretty much. December 11 tomorrow. I'd be surprised if the lap starts, but yeah, I will not be shocked. So yeah, thank you to all of you for finding the time to be part of the conversation. 23 to 4. Thank you for joining. Wycliffe Barash, I appreciate you for finding the time to join. Who else was here? Nikki Fadley, all of you, and yeah, we have Rich Moneymakers was here, and Lucilla just joined. Relentless its greatness. Lucilla, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. Dante, I don't know. Anything else you want to say before we call it a day? Okay. I could see that you're speaking, but I just cannot hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, you went in and out, but yeah, people, with that, we've come to the end of this particular edition of mashup show of the Chelsea News Roundup show and also Chelsea Match Preview show. I appreciate you all finding the time to be part of the conversation. And here, Lucilla is saying, I heard Mark Gui has signed a new contract. I'm very happy. I'll check. I hope he did, because yeah, that simply means the club likes him. They just want him to go out and learn and continue developing.
Gui
With
or
that,
Cucurella?
okay, it's the MC
I heard
Cuckoo.
it
He
was
said not Magui. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I
Gui.
heard that too. Yeah, he signed a new contract, and that makes me happy. I'm not sure how they were able to pull off that because I was concerned. So Bobby, thank you so much for joining the conversation, and thank you to the captain of the community in Constantin Dunju. Big up to you and all of you. If I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys in the morning for the pre-game show, halftime show, and post-game show. God bless us all, and bye.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. No knock. With every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, hear our voices still alive. We love for the team stands strong by our side. Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every foe's estimate, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky. Just
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. No knock. With every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team stands strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's just to bed, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.